back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. The Borno state government believes that the upsurge in militant attacks is a scare tactic being employed by the Boko Haram sect. In an exclusive interview with Channels Television, the Deputy Governor, Zana Mustafa, says that the militants are hoping that the attacks will discourage the relocation of the military's command center to Borno state. Mr. Mustafa, however, says that the president will not be deterred in this regard.
We have been briefed by the military on the command center issue. Very soon, very soon, they will be here. And we have had a very fruitful discussion with them on the issues of support to them. Support to the command center and the other military officers that are going to be here. The government, the state government, is going to support them. I think they want to try Mr. President to see whether he meant what he said, because his pronouncement that the command center is going to locate to Maiduguri might have angered them, or might have said, okay, let's dare the president. And when they dare him, they want to put a lot of fears into those who are coming into Maiduguri so that they will not come at all. But I believe the president is somebody who meant all that he said. And I believe the command center, whether they like it or not, is going to be here. And the ground is going to be tested with the command centers, and the new effort of the military and the president himself is going to be tested on the Boko Haram.
The Ministry of Petroleum Resources and Oil Marketers have resolved to end the current queues at petrol stations in most parts of the country by June the 13th. And at the end of a meeting with the oil marketers in Abuja, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mr. Taye Haruna, said there is adequate stock for more than 20 days. Mr. Haruna blamed the gridlock on the Oshodi-Apapa Expressway as the major challenge because trucks spend days trying to lift the product from the Apapa farm tank.
For over 1 month, motorists have been groaning over the inadequate supply of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol. There are long queues in petrol stations where the product is available. This meeting is a follow-up to an earlier meeting initiated by the Senate to resolve the fuel scarcity. For over 2 hours, officials of the Ministry of Petroleum met with the oil marketers where they discussed practical steps to end the queues for petrol.
Effort we made to clear this long queue before the end of 13th of June, that is next week. One of the constraints in the distribution network is the long jam at Apapa Oshodi. Currently, we have over 2,000 trucks lying on the road. So we have agreed to work with Lagos State Government, PTD, NATO, and other stakeholders to clear the long jam.
However, there are outstanding issues. For instance, what is the status of subsidy payment?
We are not talking about forgetting any amount, but we want to put that one, as important as it is, aside for now. Our focus is, how do we clear the queues? Where is the product coming from? I think that should interest you.
As soon as I leave this place, I will communicate to all the marketers to get to the places where there are products. Anywhere there is products in the nation, the tank farms, or wherever that the NMPs are sent products to load. Our own is very simple. We must load and send to our stations. Our stations are dry, waiting for products. And once we load and send to the station, we must dispense to the members of the public.
The meeting agreed to set up a committee that will monitor loading and distribution of products until the queues disappear.
Well, it's no longer business as usual for criminals in Lagos State, as the State Governor Akinwumi Ambode today promised to deal with those involved in domestic violence against women and children. During a meeting with senior police officers at the command headquarters, Governor Ambode promised to equip the force to make it easier to enforce the laws which protect women and children. Our correspondent Kelvin Obeten reports.
Governor Akinwumi Ambode's visit to the police command headquarters is in continuation of his familiarization tour of government establishments and agencies in the state. After a brief meeting with the Commissioner of Police, Governor Ambode meets with senior officers, including area commanders and divisional police officers. Since he aspires to make the state more secured, he will need the support and dedication of these officers.
Permit me, Your Excellency, to quickly pledge our abiding support and partnership to your vision of a more prosperous Lagos through adequate security.
Mr. Ambode says the welfare of police personnel is vital to enhance performance. In a swift move, he announces an upward review of insurance compensation by 100%.
In fulfillment of our resolve to sustain, improve, and consolidate on past attainments, I am pleased to announce the upward review of the compensation value as follows. Senior police officers, 5 million. Inspectors, 3 million. And rank and file, 2 million respectively.
The governor particularly frowns at domestic violence against women and will need the police to effectively tackle the menace.
I wish to particularly seek your support and cooperation in facilitating the strict enforcement of the Lagos State Law on Protection Against Violence, established in 2007, as well as the criminal laws of Lagos State 2011 that deal with issues of domestic violence against women and rape. By doing that, we will be sending a strong signal of zero tolerance to such barbaric acts and also conveying a message of assurance to our women of our commitment to their protection.
The police is seen as a strategic partner in actualizing a safer, friendlier, and more secure environment for business and living. Kelvin Obetin, Channels Television News.
The Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly has said that his regret during his tenure is the crisis in the House which pitched members against each other. The Speaker, who revealed this to journalists on Wednesday after the valedictory session for the 5th Assembly, advised the 6th Assembly to be humble and guard against external influence.
As the 5th Assembly of the Edo State legislative arm comes to an end, it's time for stock taken among the members.
The past 4 years in Edo State House of Assembly has been very eventful, fulfilling, and result-oriented. Passed 30 bills, we passed about 260 resolutions, and if you look across the country, this is one of the highest outings in many of the states.
In its final months, however, the House was enmeshed in a crisis.
We had ups and downs, we had crises, we have challenges, but what makes us tick is that we are always able to come back again to resolve it. Of course, you know that those crises were not made by us, they were not created by us, they were interference from our various political parties, and who were able to surmount it. That today, the House is not living in shambles. Our other brothers had come to join us, and we are living as one family.
Though the unpleasant happenings have come to an end, the lawmakers say they regret the episodes.
Definitely the crisis. The crisis was very, very challenging. It was unfortunate because I was fighting against my friends, so it's very challenging, very, very painful. Regrets will be the same thing, having to fight against my friends.
They have this word of advice for the incoming assembly.
For them to survive, they need humility, especially the leadership, because you need to always realize one thing. All members were elected by various constituencies to represent their constituencies. Nobody was elected as speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly. It is your members, your colleagues, that make you the speaker. So you are only one amongst them. You are not senior to them, they are not junior to you. Once you manage to remember that at every given time, even though, in all honesty, at times it can be very tempting, because power at times can be very, very tempting.
Of the 24 lawmakers in the Edo State House of Assembly, only about 9 of them are returning to the chambers in the 6th Assembly. Perhaps these words of advice will guide their conduct.
The Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has been speaking about his immediate, medium and long-term plans for the state, and he's calling for prudence in governance. Taking the lead, the governor has slashed his own salary by 50%. He says this is part of his move to reduce the general cost of governance in the state, and he's also promising to improve the health facilities and uphold the rule of law.
Beyond unity, Mr. Chairman, Your Royal Highnesses, it is also time for sacrifice. The country is in a very bad situation financially. The revenues are down. Government has become over-bloated. In this state, Mr. Chairman, we get about 4 to 5 billion naira a month as combined revenue, 1 billion from internally generated revenue, and 3 to 4 billion from Federation account in a good month. Our salaries per month are about 3 billion. So by the time you pay salaries, there is barely nothing to do the work of the people of Kaduna State.
Still ahead on the news at 10, the Benue State Governor Samuel Otom refutes allegation of monetary inducement and car gifts brought against him by members of the State House of Assembly. To join us again.